What we're going to talk about today, fun topic, Fibonacci retracements, Fibonacci tools. If you guys are interested on my channel, if you go to the playlist section, I actually have a Fibonacci playlist with over, I think, 8 to 10 videos, all talking about Fibonacci. The thing with Fibonacci, you're either a fan of it or you're not a fan of it. And over the course of my career, Fibonacci and the Fibonacci tools has never let me down. It all stems from how you look at these charts. We all look at these charts differently. When you look at technical analysis, there's nothing technical about it. How I believe in things, my beliefs, you guys, technical analysis, and Fibonacci, this is all art, and we're all going to look at art differently. That is why art is very popular in museums, and you see those pictures of art or NFTs go for stupid amounts of money. Everybody looks at art differently. We all pick up on patterns differently. We all look at charts differently. This is why day trading, stock trading, it's so hard for a lot of people because we're all taught to look out for basic chart patterns. They even tell you where to buy, where to sell, put your stop, but yet still so many people fail. So with Fibonacci, it's all in how you look at the chart. There are books out there on Fibonacci. One of my favorite is Carolyn, the Fibonacci Queen. Not a lot of people know about her, but she's written and authored a book. You can easily go to YouTube, type in the Fibonacci Queen, and she's going to pop up right here. This is the Fibonacci Queen. She's written a few books, must-own books, I would say. There she is right there. She's got her own YouTube channel, only 6,000 subscribers. She's really big into Fibonacci. I've learned a lot from her, but don't let me steer you away from my video and my content and what I'm about to get into. We all look at things differently and perceive things differently. It's all in the way you look at the chart, is what I tell you guys all the time. And it's how you use Fibonacci to see what you're seeing. Have fun with it. Fibonacci is a tool to measure from lows to highs or highs to lows. Don't be afraid to experiment and measure with your Fibonacci retracement. Let me blow up this 1-minute chart here. Don't be afraid to break out your Fibonacci retracement tool and measure from a high right here down to the low, and then really zoom in on what you're measuring and see how a stock moved up and down through these Fibonacci levels. Really have an eye for detail. You're measuring from the high all the way down to the low right there. See how the stock opened up just below that 23.6 line, failed to get over it, came back down, then it came back and it exploded up over that line. And then it was holding it as support and it drilled all the way up to the golden ratio, 61.8 right there at 2055. Pushes all the way up to 76.4. See, it's all in the way you look at it, you guys, and having an eye for detail and putting the story together that makes sense to you. That's where a lot of people fail. When people get into Fibonacci and the trading tool, they really try and beat themselves up and, well, how do I properly use it? I don't want to use it wrong and in the wrong way. There is a wrong way to use it. I like to have fun with it, you guys. Have fun with it. Use it in a way to where you see the chart and what you want to put together. That's where it all counts. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to make that money but you. And what you see is going to make you money. That makes sense? What I try to teach here for you guys is to think for yourself. So you're able to put together your own strategies, your ideas, and have confidence in yourself in what you're seeing. So with Fibonacci, and this works on any time frame, you guys, any. Currently right now, I'm looking at a 1-minute time frame, and I do a lot of examples off of a 1-minute time frame, just simply for the fact it gives me a lot of really good stories to tell. I can really break it down and tell the story tick by tick, candle by candle, what's going on. And as a trader, you guys, you really have to put in that work ethic, having that drive to sit here for countless hours and willingly by yourself break down charts, telling the story, putting it all together, picking up on patterns that you want to see. That's something I can't teach you. I can't teach you good work ethic. That you either have it or you don't. That's why I tell you guys, I'm thankful for my father bringing me to his side jobs doing roofs when I was a kid. I got a good work ethic ingrained in me when I was a child. And that all stems from your first experiences, your beliefs. Really get down some deep, deep rabbit holes the more you get involved with day trading, and you truly start to see, like, heck, man, it is a lot more complicated than being shown buy here, sell there. You really, everything you see, we all see differently. But let's get back to Fibonacci. What I like to do, bottom line, with Fibonacci, you guys, and you could do this with any tool. Fibonacci, they're all the same. It doesn't matter if it's a fan, retracement, Fibonacci arcs, Fibonacci, what's the other one? Projections, Fibonacci time zones. That's a bit different because you're measuring time. I haven't truly got involved with that 100%. Still got to make content on that. But all of these, they're basically the same. You're measuring. Look at them as a ruler. You're measuring moves, low to highs, highs to lows. And you can measure from anywhere you want. There is no specific, you gotta absolutely, you have to measure from here all the way up to the high. No, guys, have fun with it. You could do whatever you want with it. What I like to do, if I'm at a 1 minute chart or something, and let's say a stock's gapping up. For example, let's look at, let's see here, give you guys a good example. Let's pull up the SPY gap up this morning. Well, the SPY gap down. We could still use it. See that blue dotted line right here? That's the previous day's close. And what I like to do, depending if a stock is gapping up or gapping down pre-market, I'll just simply get out my Fibonacci retracement and I'll measure. I'll measure from that previous day's close all the way down to the pre-market lows or the day lows, and do the opposite. If a stock is gapping up, measure from the previous day's close up to pre-market highs or the day highs. And then from there on out, see how the stock moves up to these Fibonacci levels. It's all about having that eye for detail. So if we measure from the previous day's close right here down to the day low, which is right there, put my X there, we're measuring this move. That's what we're doing, bottom line. So look at it as if it's a ruler, and your ruler is going to tell you your percentages and levels. Up to 50%, you guys, as I've said in my previous videos, 50 is not a Fibonacci number. It's not in the Fibonacci sequence. They throw in the 50% because it's basic math. Half of a move. 0 to 100, 50% is half. So why not include it, right? With Fibonacci, that golden ratio is really big. The 61.8. You hear a lot of people call it the golden ratio. Now we go into intraday here on the 1 minute, and referring back to what I told you guys. It's all in the way you look at the chart. Remember that. Stock bottoms out here, comes up to that first Fibonacci line, that 23.6 level at 451.79. You could see it failed there. It poked its head up over it and then quickly failed. Right on back down. Then you see the stock came right back up again and was finding resistance right at that, right? It's still holding as resistance. Comes back down. Now we finally get up over that line and we move up to the next level, that 38.2 level at 452.86. And you could see we were in a range, just bouncing between these two levels for a period of time, right? And then the stock crumbled down through that level all the way back down, and it's making a new low. So you can use these levels to get a strength of how strong a stock is, how it's building up in levels. I tell you guys, you want to look at stocks and take it one level at a time. By simply using a Fibonacci tool like this and by plotting it out, it'll actually help you in training your eyes to see how stocks like to move up and down, how they like to consolidate, how they like to move up through levels, down through levels, act as support, act as resistance, so forth, right? And a lot of times you'll use Fibonacci retracements or whatever it is, Fibonacci fans, and you'll see a lot of times, man, things really do correlate to Fibonacci. And this is why it is so popular with a lot of people. Even if I was to draw out a simple Fibonacci, whatchamacallit here, Fibonacci arcs. We draw from here all the way down to the lows. See the stock, it moved all the way up to this first arc here, and it was holding as resistance on it. And then it got out of that, and it couldn't even make it up to the next line up here at 38.2. There's all types of different ways to use Fibonacci. Take it and use it to your advantage, you guys, in developing your own strategies. That's what it's all about. Developing your own strategies to profit. It's not about emulating people or emulating your guru. The greatest thing about the stock market, you guys, is the freedom. Just like in real life, the freedom to be whoever you want and do whatever you want and come up with ideas and strategy to make money for yourself. It's an open market for everybody and it's free, right? Have fun with it, you guys. Don't take it so seriously. Don't beat yourself up so bad about it. Have an open mind. Have fun with it, right? That's what we're all about here, you guys. Having fun with it. Paying attention to price levels, psychological levels. Don't beat yourself up over the exact penny of support or resistance. Focus on psychological levels. Every 25 cent, every 50 cent, $1. That's the way you want to take it. So with the S&P 500 here, a big psychological level is going to be 450s. So it's all in the way you look at the chart. I'm going to be focused on 450, the level. How does it act at that level? Is it holding up strong at that level or is it weak at that level? I'm not going down to, man, 449.50 is support on that. I sure hope it holds up. Now, I'm more focused on the big level. Like, I don't want to micro it down, stress myself out, and beat myself up over every single little penny, right? That's how you're just going to malfunction. And remember that scene from Wolf of Wall Street when he asked him how many times does he, a day? And he says, you got all these numbers in your head and you're crunching them. You need to release, get that pressure out of your head. So don't stress about things too much, you guys. Take it in levels, psychological price levels. You don't have to get it down to the T and call the perfect bottom or call the perfect top. It's not about that. Look at technical analysis and charts. It's art. It's art, you guys. We're all going to look at it differently. We're all going to pick up on patterns differently. Let's look at another example with Fibonacci. So based on when you scroll out on a chart, a lot of people with Fibonacci, they would struggle to find, well, where do I start? Where do I end? Where do I draw my Fibonacci lines? You could really draw it from anywhere you want. Remember, Fibonacci, it's a tool to measure from highs to lows, lows to highs. That's all we're doing is measuring moves. And these moves can be from anywhere. So let's say here, I mean, you can measure from this spike down to this low and see how the stock played out. You could even measure multiple days if you wanted. Let's say you wanted to start from way down here where it bottom picked and bring it all the way up to this high up here. You can do that. The bigger time frame you use Fibonacci. Let's switch over to a 10-minute. Let's measure. We'll measure from this high up here all the way down to that low right here. And you see, all we're measuring from here down to here, that's just a basic move we're measuring from a high to a low, which is all of this in the future now that's played out. See how the stock moved up to this line at 23.6. Then it moves up to the next level here at 38.2. Stock comes all the way back down, comes back up, tries to hold at that level, and it moves back up. And then it touches right here at the 50% retracement. That 50%, you could look at that. That's your bounce right there. It not only did it bounce here, but it bounced there as well. Remember, this is a measured move from the high to the low. So all you'd be looking for are bounces. As a swing trader, day trader, you're looking for bounces up. And how far the bounces could go, the Fibonacci tool helps you in your targets. And then that's when you can go back as well and look and measure. I mean, the beautiful thing about technical analysis, you guys, you're always going to spot something and make sense of it. I mean, there's so many examples to go off of. I mean, you can measure from here to the low and measure this first bounce right here. But we're measuring this whole move. And what I mean by that, real quickly, move this down to right there. The reason I'm putting it there, because this was an area of interest. See how it multiple bottomed right here? You could draw your line like that. It's forming a wedge, right? And then it all came down to right here. And that's when the stock really started to fall off hard, right? So it fell through from that wedge right there. That's an area of interest, I would say. It broke through the pattern to the downside. And from that, you can use your Fibonacci retracement. Plot it there, measure it down to the low. So you're measuring this move right there. And as you see, the stock bounced up all the way up to this top line. This stock bounced 76% from this measured move right here. That's the beauty of Fibonacci, you guys. All we're doing is measuring. We're measuring from areas stocks drop out from, patterns, highs and lows, lows and highs. Get creative with it and develop your own unique strategy in the way you look at these charts. And it also really helps you in understanding and seeing how to look at these stocks. Makes sense? So I've given you guys not one, but two examples. You could have used Fibonacci from measuring from the high to the low or from a pattern to the low. The possibilities are endless with Fibonacci. Have fun with it. I'm always experimenting with Fibonacci. Always. One of another videos that I've done was measuring with clusters, where you get out your Fibonacci retracement and you measure from lows up to the high, and you just plot out all kinds of Fibonacci retracements from one specific low to a high, and you look for clusters at one specific area. So you look for a big cluster of all of these retracements at one specific level. You could see here we got a few here at 66. We got a few here at 52. The more clusters, the better. And the art of doing this, you guys, is the fact that there are so many people out there using Fibonacci and they're measuring from all different areas. It's about pinpointing where everybody and how they use Fibonacci what levels are they focusing on? That makes sense. So if you plot from a low right here all the way up to this high, all the way up to this high, all the way up to that high, you're going to see all of these different lines. And if you see a cluster of all of these lines pinpointing to one specific price, chances are a lot more eyes are going to be at that price level. That makes sense. That all comes from, I learned that from the Fibonacci Queen. All in the way you look at the chart, you guys. I tell you that all the time. If you guys enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Join the Trading Learning 101 community where we all grow as traders and investors. And if you want to see more Fibonacci videos, be sure to check out my Fibonacci playlist on my YouTube channel, Trading Learning 101. If you guys want to be a part of the Trading Learning 101 Discord, I have a community that I've created. There should be a link down in the video description below. Feel free to join it. The weekly chat is open to the public and everybody. Come on in. Don't be shy. Say hi. As I always say to you guys, have that patience. Have that discipline. Study, study, study. Later.